Hello. We are here.
Hello, everyone. We're here. Oh God. Has it been a week? Has it been a week already?
What
are we
a
doing?
whole week?
Damn.
I'm so confused. Where have we been, everyone?
It's like I blinked and the whole time was gone.
It's not there. Are we backwards in time? Are we forwards? What year is it?
How dare we move sideways through time?
How dare we crab walk through time?
I am a very tired boy because I took a nap, unfortunately, and that did not work the way I wanted it to. I thought I could make up for the sleep I'm about to lose. It didn't go the way I wanted it to.
You needed sleep, and instead you got sleep, meaning that you need sleep.
Yep. Brain went, hey, so we're starting the whole sleep now, right?
So what you do, side note, this is a joke, don't do this. What you do, is pull a red beast, and for the entirety of your adult life, get about 2 to 3 hours of sleep every night. And then eventually your body will be so starved for sleep that the second you close your eyes, you'll just go straight into REM sleep. And you only need 2 or 3 hours. And you just pop right out of it fully rested.
Like every military person I've ever met.
I asked Red how he was doing the other day, and he just stared at me and slowly blinked one eye and then the other before smiling. So I think he's okay.
Yeah, he's got to be careful not to close both eyes at the same time, or it could trigger that REM cycle. He's got to blink one eye at a time, or he's out.
That's why he has Storm to like smack him upside the head every now and again to keep him awake.
Oh, also, real quick before we get into anything, I wanted to say, Lio the Lion, thank you for gifting an Abridge Alliance membership, and some guy named Sinbad. I'm not familiar. Thank you for becoming. I'm kidding. We know you. You know we know you. 2 months now on the Vandalize My Heart tier. Appreciate you.
Hey.
Much appreciated.
Also,
care you.
Thank you.
Also, for anyone, since there's less people on this than usual here, if anybody wants to, feel free to donate Aversity tokens to me as Pyro, so I survive my shift tomorrow.
Yeah, that goes to real life, unfortunately, for real roles.
Facing real adversity.
Also, Sammy's forehead could act as an additional place to put your freaking adversity tokens.
I swear to God.
But speaking of adversity tokens, let's go ahead and like at least get into the intro of things for the most part of this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Digi-Destiny one-shot of Where's Sammy? Where's she been?
Where have she been? What have I been up to?
We're gonna figure out what the heck Sammy's been up to prior to meeting with the crew over in the Static Deserts and figuring out.
In the world is Sammy Takeshi?
Exactly. So with that being said, because we're rolling the clock back, as it were, that means that we are starting from zero. Meaning, Sammy here, played by Laikachi, does not have any adversity tokens in their repertoire. They might in the current canon, but right now they're sitting at nothing. And to make things even easier and simpler on our end of case, or at least to level the playing field, I'm also sitting at 0, meaning I don't have anything that I can add DM-wise to this. So, for anyone that would like to donate and do your thing for tokens and whatnot, the playing field is completely level at this point.
Can I just say, we started this as a bit, but I began reflecting on it. Grim really dropped the ball not changing Reiner's last name to San Diego. Because Sammy San Diego sounds so cool.
It does.
It's all about the alliteration.
Exactly.
Really, yeah. It's up there.
Sammy San Diego.
Is she
Really
related
works
to
out.
Carmen?
It's
Distant
entirely
cousin.
This is going to be a little bit more lax than normal. I don't really have major news stuff, so I'm just going to give you like the bullet points. If y'all want to, if you're not already, if you're here and you know about all this, but you didn't know about our Discord community, what are you doing, silly? Get your butt on in there. Hey mods, could you please put a link to the Discord community up there? We want to get them silly butts in there too.
Just use the nice little exclamation point Discord and you can have access to the thing, and it's just there. It's there in the air. You don't even know it.
We interact. We have a good time. I put up a lot of questions, gathering information about you guys, and just trying to have fun with you guys a lot there. We do a lot of other stuff. We'll get into that a little bit later. But basically, it's a way to communicate on this front. Also, talk with other fans of the entire Schmucks fandom of content. Just a good, grand old time. In addition to that, we have, for all your Digi-Destiny needs, there is ! Wiki is the wiki that was created by Alec Reef, and the community is the guardians of keeping the lore of Digi-Destiny there.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
what else is there? Should you feel inclined, something completely free you could do that would help us out? If you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that button. Hit that button so you know when things go live, so you help us grow in terms of getting noticed on the YouTube front too. Does help out. Much appreciated.
Just a little bit, yeah. It definitely helps us out.
Do I have anything else? Oh, yeah, we'll get into that once we get into the promo stuff.
Wahoo.
Yes. With that said, yes, today, everyone, we'll be looking into what Sammy has been up to in the 10 days leading up to meeting up with our original crew and figuring out how the heck she survived this long on her own. We'll have to see.
10-day.
Good old ups and downs, plenty of them.
Just got really good really fast.
So, with that said, if we are ready to get started on things, I believe that we got some early donations that came in. So
That's true.
to
Are we
prep us
going
all for the
over
start.
all the stuff on the Patreon Discord? Are we doing that first?
Yeah, we should
skipping
we
that?
should do that right quick.
Okay.
Feel free to do that. then.
Okay. I'm gonna just run through it. Hi everybody, I'm Chase, also known as Coffinjockey. We do a lot of stuff here on the Schmuck Squad and on Grimjack and on Abridge Alliance and just everywhere. We make a whole lot of content, and that needs a whole lot of people doing it. And you guys supporting us is the only thing that keeps us going. So we greatly appreciate it. One of the best ways to support us is through Discord memberships and also Patreon. You can give a set amount of money every month or per upload, however you feel, and you'll get rewards for it. For instance, on the $1 tier, you get access to all the stuff on time. That would normally be a little silly thing to have. Why would we have that? But YouTube does not let us put stuff there, and that means we have to pay for a lot of storage for a lot of different things. Server storage is a lot, because we have like 800 hours of content or some shit. So it helps us keep that going, and you can see stuff when it's supposed to come out. Next up, we got the $5 tier. That includes stuff like movie nights, also everything on the $1 tier. Stuff like movie nights, and also access to the Schmucks Minecraft server, the Schmuckcraft server.
Bingo.
You can do all sorts of cool stuff, like build houses and raid the ruins of Nick's ex-house as it has fallen to disrepair.
I haven't seen it since it was initially
you
built.
could form an HOA just to yell at Nick.
You could do it.
Please put a fence in your house. Thank
The
you.
skybox is the limit. From there, we got the $7 tier. That one lets you see stuff early, usually about a week early. And we got all sorts of stuff that comes out all the time. We got usually 5 uploads a month of stuff, of different parts of episodes, bloopers, behind the scenes things, all sorts of stuff, you name it, we got it. From there, we got the $20 tier. $20 tier lets you get your name in the description of the video, as well as when we do our dives, you might be able to ask a question live on the dive. Hashtag trademark copyright.
As well as when we do community. So we've been doing Digi-Des Play stuff. We did one of them I think it was 2 weeks ago at this point. And we're planning to do some more of those once everybody kind of gets settled out of certain... this time of year, a lot of people are going on a lot of trips, so we've got to balance things out. But
It's
long
like
story
just
short,
before it gets too cold.
any community-style event stuff, we also allow people to get into calls on, too.
Yay! It's a good time. From there, we got the $50 tier. Your name gets put into the video. We hard edit it in there, throw it up there, and you get to see your name there, as well as everything else that you already get. And then lastly, the $100 tier, which does not have a reward because we cannot thank you enough for that amount of money. That is just absolutely ridiculous. You name your price. Name your price. We'll do our best. We've brought series out of retirement. We've uncanceled stuff. We've started new series based on people's requests. One person requested for a Vanmon plushie, and we're working on it. We have an artist that's they've made the pattern, and we're kind of talking about like what supplies and fabrics and such would be used for it, as well as a couple other possible ideas, because there might be international shipping involved in that. We're figuring out the logistics. It's happening. It's taken a little while, but it's a whole thing. So yeah, we appreciate y'all's support. If you can support, we greatly appreciate it. Only give what you're comfortable with, though. Don't put yourselves out.
Nobody better be putting themselves in financial constraints by doing this, or I will come to your house and I will wag my finger at you.
He'll do it. Believe you me. He's done it to me already.
There's no reason to do any more than that. You're already under a great amount of stress from financially constraining yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do that. There's a lot of free ways to support us, too. Like, like Pyro said, subscribing, talking to your friends about it, getting the word out, showing people it. It's a good time. Make your grandma watch it. She'll be real confused, but she'll get the spirit.
Oh yeah, and also because people are bringing it up, of course the channel membership itself for the Abridged Alliance channel get you all the shiny emotes to interact with, which a certain someone is making some new ones that may be animated. That'll be added to it from all the cool stuff that you guys have done for us. And also there are other amazing perks on the Vandalize My Heart tier that lets you get to see what's going on with the content early, how we're getting into things there, and also get access to some of these member-only streams that we do. So that's cool.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much. With that, I think that's everything for that particular area of discussion.
I think so.
That sounds about right.
So next up, donations, question mark?
Yeah, donations, question mark.
Okay. So first donation we got is from Autumn Woodham, who donated $5 and said token to Sammy for the one shot. But I have a question for Nick. I noticed that you regularly refer to Salamon with they them pronouns while using she her for Sistermon. Out of nothing more than genuine curiosity, is Salamon Sistermon gender fluid? Is there lore behind this? Is this just a personal choice?
It's more of a personal choice, and also because, at least with Salamon keeping it as like kind of a they them, I prefer to leave it up to interpretation on things, and they might present more masculine in some areas, more feminine in others. As for Sistermon, like, they're confident in themselves, and I'm pretty sure that they would describe themselves as more using like she her for pronouns on things, even if like they aren't actually that. Which, I'm not going to go into that end of things, but I would say the Sistermon is confident enough to say that they are confident in that end of their pronouns. When it comes to Salamon, I kind of just leave it up to interpretation and prefer to keep it as neutral as I can.
Despite being made of binary code, Digimon are very famously non-binary entities.
Exactly.
There's been the long-running joke of Anjumon digivolving to Anjuwomon to become stronger. And, Devimon digivolving to Lady Devimon to become stronger.
Because as we know, women are very powerful.
Yeah, become woman to gain strong.
Yes.
And you must trans your gender in order to become powerful. But, Digimon's just like that. It's very, very open story. Digimon are just like whatever they are in whatever moment. It's it's a whole thing. Long history.
Exactly. The only gender more powerful than female is metal or war, usually.
True. That would do it.
Ones.
If any amount of Chrome Digizoid is involved, that's the gender now.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. So,
but yeah. After that, we have Botluck Productions, who donated $5 and said, Botluck Productions here, be safe. Don't want to see some time paradoxes. Looking at you, Flamemon. As is, take this point, Laikachi.
Aw, thank you.
2 Sammy tokens.
there we go.
So far. After that, we have Noir, who donated $15. They said, "Oh, cool! It's time to see the horrors that Sammy, Salamon, they who resurrected, and Meteormon went through. Since Sammy is full,
No, I'm not.
perhaps not, and Vanmon isn't here. To the DM,
Well,
2 potential misgivings. Vanmon is with us anywhere, and Sammy is also not full. But I'm
So
sure the
I'd
DM
say-
will still happily take all 3 tokens."
You know what? Sure. In this case, I'll happily take them for now.
After that, we have Anime Dude 1287, who donated $5, saying, "I hope things have been going well. Haven't watched lately because I like saving your videos while working on projects. Point to whoever needs it. P.S. Not in school. I call things projects to make them sound more important." Hell
Fair
yeah.
enough.
I'm here for it. Sometimes
Alrighty.
my project is playing Baldur's Gate 3. It
listen.
do
Most
be
of-
like that.
Most of my projects are sitting down and writing for this game.
Understandable.
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
believe
heck
that's
That
token
looks like
for
a Sammy token.
Yep, Sammy token. We're
Wow.
now tied at 3 each.
Oh wow. Oh boy.
Hell yeah.
See how this goes.
The next donation is from Christopher Ramos, who says, "In the pacing of Johnny Be Good, go Sammy go, go go go, go Sammy go, go go go, Sammy be good." I assume that's a token to Sammy.
Yep.
Thank you. I can't promise to be good, but I'll do my best.
Fair enough.
I'll good in quality, not good in moral
Yeah.
ambiguity.
Behavior.
Yeah, not behavior wise, quality wise. Sammy
Yep.
will be solidly good quality wise. From there we have IYB, who donated $10, saying, "Hi guys, super excited to watch the stream. I'm working on a new pinup girl calendar piece for September while I watch, this month featuring Wizardmon. Hope y'all like it once I'm done, and 2 tokens to the van if no one else needs them. And hey, guess what? There's someone that needs them.
Sammy, take your tokens.
Sammy, take
the
2!
tokens. I'm taking the tokens. Snatch them off the table.
I am really looking forward to, by the way, when that calendar is like fully filled out, all 12
Oh,
months. Like we
that'll
already
be
have
great.
Strikedramon as one of them, I think, and we have Duskmon as another. So
Yeah.
Oof, I love it. Here for
I'm
it.
looking forward to it.
Heck yeah. Next up, we have Alec Reef, who donated $10, saying, "Points to Sammy and Salamon. Just remember to use the heart of the cards to wait, wrong show. Just believe it and you'll, wait, wrong show again. Catch them all to be the Pokemon champ." Okay, that one's very wrong. Just win. Win and don't die. Okay, have fun.
So that's
Again,
I don't
2
know if
tokens.
that's, yeah, I think that's 2 tokens to Sammy, since that's a Sammy and Salamon.
Yeah.
I
Heck
took
yeah.
them, so I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Good.
that is for you.
Thief
so
them. Snatch them. Steal
Take them while you can.
connive them, yes, good. Next up, we have Maxwell Kaufman, who donated $5, saying, "Hello, this is a donation to the newest player for this campaign, or at least I think that's what's going on. Use this one adversity token well."
Thank you. I will.
Heck yeah. Possibly for evil.
Well, I think
That's up for debate.
that depends on your perspective.
From there, we have Canadian Stranger, who I'm going to do a good favor and give them 43 more cents of credit so that they can have an even $50 donation, because I think the
Alrighty.
currency conversion did them
Damn.
dirty. Canadian Stranger donated $49.57, saying, "Even though our Lord and Savior isn't here, I still think he deserves some tokens for Vanmon." So,
Well,
Anyways, the
Oh
my
headcanon
God.
is that anyone whose name does not show up now just is Canadian Stranger. So
no, I memorized
collective.
their Streamlabs ID number chain, which is 24 characters long. I
am
know
proud
who
of
you are. You're not hiding from me, Canadian Stranger.
So that is 10 tokens to the van.
So it is.
That is
man.
not here, but I love that. I love that in the past, in some alternate timeline, or in prior to current day, we've got
The Vanmon came in with 10 tokens retroactively.
from the past.
I'm here
We can
for
pretend
it.
I just gave them to Vanmon when I show up for the first time.
It's like, yeah, I found these things. I don't know what they're for. You can have them.
Yeah.
Put them in the van.
This is the drop to be put in the bucket.
Is this why there's always a little bit of change in the fucking cup holder and no one ever knows why?
Yeah.
Yes. It's also
man,
like that one bowl from that one Grimm's fairy tale thing where you take it out and there's just more in there, and you try to take more out and there's still more in there, and you can't get it out unless you tip it over.
Yep.
Infinitely replenishing like 12 to 15 cents.
Very good.
From there, we have G-Man SCP. We got 2 more, including this one. Who says, they donated $5. They said, get him, Sammy. Also, Chase, can you tell Pyro with your narrator voice, quote, did you know that you can get DMs in Discord because I didn't? Well, golly gee, that makes me feel like a fool. Sorry for accidentally doxing you, Pyro. And to honor your request, did you know that you can get DMs in Discord because I didn't? Well, golly gee, that makes me feel like a fool. Sorry for doxing you, Pyro. Oopsie doodle. Get police raided.
Oh no!
Like me yesterday.
Oh no!
Yay, there's lore there. There's some lore there.
Ugh.
From there, there's Midnight Sky, donated $5, saying, here you go, Sammy. As a trans girl myself, I like to believe that Sister Mon Noir is a trans woman. Yours truly, Sarah, Princess of Chaos. And fuck yeah. Fucking go headcanon anything you want. Interpret anyone however you want them to be. I don't mind. Fucking, as long as it's not hurting nobody, you enjoy the story however you feel you best want to.
Exactly.
I'm not here to tell you what about what.
Hell yeah, you trans that gender.
You trans the shit out of their gender. You get them.
You have digivolved and become stronger. I am proud of you.
That is how it works.
Exactly.
You are now at least champion level, if not ultimate. Perhaps even mega.
That's how that works.
That is indeed how it works. And then I think that's everything. I'm triple checking. That is everything. Hooray.
Alrighty then.
Got him.
If that is the case, then I believe we are ready to get ourselves started. Pyro, if you'd like to so lovingly transition us over to the screen, and I believe we have an actual intro bit from the narrator.
Well, I don't know about all that.
We might, who knows?
I will, but for a quick second before that, I wanted to say to everyone who has been getting onto either the emotional damage tiers or the Vandalize My Heart tiers and all of the gift subs going on out there. Thank you guys so much for gift subs. Well, gift memberships. You get the idea. Thank you guys so much, just in general. I want to thank everybody who has been here for straight up 1 month on it or 2 months on it. Y'all are crazy. Thank you for being part of our community here. And just in general, we love you guys. Thank you for joining the Vanguard, as the community has dubbed it. I love that. The Vanguard. All right.
It's a good name.
And then we'll go ahead and transition over. Y'all know the drill. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel this time. Let's have a good time for stream, and I'm transitioning us over now.
Let's have a safe, fair D&D match.
Nothing below the belt.
Nothing below the 2, nothing above the 19.
All ones are natural.
And with that.
Hell yeah.
Well, hey again, you. Welcome, one and all, to a very special one-shot extravaganza. Boom! Confetti and whatnot. So, when last our tale was told, 5 young adults, 5 specific, only 5 young adults with attitude were kidnapped by a mysterious force and sent to save the world. But unbeknownst to them, there was a 6th young adult. There might have even been a 7th young adult. It was kind of speculated, but not confirmed. Anyway, Reiner's sister, Sammy, was spirited away to digital parts unknown to partake in this digi-adventure and seek her very own Digi-Destiny. Lucky kid. I only got to go on adventures after I finished my homework and slayed Quandragrilor, the ever-returning. That sucker just kept coming back. You think Sammy finished all her homework before being snatched by the universe to be traumatized in a whole new world? Did she slay Quandragrilor? I don't think so. But which enemies will she slay? Which friends will she make? Did I leave a tea kettle on? Let's see what wonders await with a special Digi-Destiny one-shot! Woo!
Can I just say that at the moment I heard A Whole New World, all I could think of was like a horrifying version of A Whole New World. I can't close my eyes. I'm terrified.
I'm glad you are entertained by that. So, our story rolls back the clock a little bit to where it first began. It's a little earlier in the day than when our original ragtag group of heroes began their start to an interesting day that led to many more adventures to come. And we find ourselves following the footsteps of a very slowly walking, very tired young girl. Just waking up for another day at school, who has looked over at their nightstand to see the various different medications that they have to take on a day-to-day basis, and begrudgingly starting the process of preparing for the day. Sammy, it's about 7 in the morning at this point, as you wake up for school like you have before. You've gotten used to setting your own alarms and waking up at this point, just due to how things are at home. You get through your normal medications that you have to. You've already gone through your regular checkups earlier this week. And it's time to get ready for classes. How are you feeling right now?
Pretty tired. Definitely like eyes half shut, just sort of putting all of the books and whatnot I'll need in my backpack, trying to like remember to bring my inhalers with me as I like, half asleep through my routine. And just sort of like head out as I do every day.
You get yourself prepared for the day, and as you begin your slow trek, you pass by your brother's room, who is out like a light. Just a total log. And you're not sure what his schedule is. He doesn't really tell you kind of when he actually gets up and goes to work and does things. But he's kind of a sleeper in. And you at least want to let him know that, hey, you're making your way to school on a decent time.
Yeah, I won't say anything. I don't want to interrupt his sleep. He probably got in pretty late, but I'll write him a little note.
Fair enough. You go ahead and you write a little note and you place it on the counter where you know he's going to find it. And you begin your walk out of the house. It's a little cold this morning, especially given the time of year. But you are walking your way over to the bus stop at this point. And you can see a few people that are also waiting at the bus. They kind of wave you over as they're just sitting there in the cold waiting for the bus to arrive. You kind of know a few of these other students like you, but not terribly well. You've got a few close friends, but they usually get driven to school.
The lucky bastards.
By the time that you actually arrive at school, you end up in your main classroom. You got your bag put away over to the side. You still got your phone in your pocket. And it's at this point most likely that, before classes are actually getting started, that Reiner should be waking up at this point. Most likely has read your note. And you pull up his contact just to send him a good morning text if he hasn't already. Like, wake up, sleepyhead. Like, you should be getting something done for today. You walk out into the hallway to kind of get away from everything, make sure no teachers are seeing you, and don't confiscate your phone. The hallway is empty as people are getting ready for classes. Your message is ready to send, and you press the enter key. And a bright light flashes from your phone. As you stand there staring at that bright light, trying to cover your eyes, you see arcing electricity spark off of your phone, almost enveloping your hand, before the light shines so brightly that you go blind for a moment. Until when you finally open your eyes and readjust the lighting, you realize you're not at school anymore. There's wind blowing. You can see clouds all around you. You can see sharp, rocky terrain alongside some of the grass that is underneath your feet. Wherever you are, it's not Earl Vista. And you are alone.
Okay, well, what's going on? And I'm gonna, like, look around and, like, truly am alone. Do I, like, have a vibe that there's someone around, or it's, like...
I'd say go ahead and give me we'll say a brains check. I'm going to set the DC to 10, just to kind of look around and see, like, what's going on, get a feel for the environment.
That is a 2 brains.
The shock of being in a place that is not your classroom anymore kind of overwhelms you, and looking at your immediate surroundings, as far as you can tell, you are alone on a mountain. And looking down at your phone, it has no service.
Oh, that's so not good. I must be up too high. I should go lower. Maybe then I'll have some bars. And I guess I'll just start aiming down. And
Very well.
start walking.
You start making your trek down the various slopes and rough terrain of the mountain. And it takes you about maybe 10 minutes of climbing down before you see a figure in the distance. They're taller than you. Their back is towards you, and you can see that they are wearing almost like raggedy style clothes and a wide brim, like, brown hat.
Hello? Hello? Excuse me? And I'm gonna walk a little faster towards them, because anyone is better than no one at the moment.
Very well. You go ahead and you make your way towards the figure. And when you turn around the corner, you can see that their back is still towards you. You can see now that you're up close, a lot of their clothes are very worn, like they've seen a lot of wear and tear or a lot of manual labor. And you can see perched on the shoulder of this figure appears to be a bird of some kind, possibly a very large crow, largest crow you've ever seen.
I think I'm gonna ignore the bird thing for now. Hey, do you know where we are? Excuse me.
As you call out, the figure turns, and you see this standing before you.
Oh wow, that sure is a guy.
The face of the figure almost looks drawn on. And the bird on its shoulder turns and kind of cocks its head to the side of you.
Well now, you're far from home, aren't you, little one?
maybe? I don't know where I am. Did the bird just talk to me?
Now that's quite rude, wouldn't you say? I have a name, you know.
I think she's just kind of like shell-shocked.
The bird is going to kind of peck at the head of the figure, which is then going to start walking a little bit towards you to look around and examine you from side to side.
Interesting. It's been a long time since a human has been here before.
What do you mean by that? I mean, sure you don't look like anyone I've seen in Earl Vista, but I mean, your friend there seems human-ish, right?
At which point the crow pecks at the side of the head of this dummy, and its head kind of like falls a little bit to the side before he grabs the hat with his beak, pulls the head back into place.
This dummy just carries me from point A to point B. I'm the one in charge here.
Oh, well, sorry about that, I guess. I've never seen a bird that talks before. I'm a little freaked out.
Well, I'm not just any bird, mind you. I'm Noemon. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And he will peck at the neck of the figure, which will do a very long and drawn-out bow before raising itself back up.
I'm Sammy. And I guess I'm gonna like tentatively take like a step forward, hold a hand out, because it's polite.
The crow on the figure will go ahead and again peck at the side of the head of this thing before the other arm that is not holding the crow reaches out and shakes your hand.
A pleasure to meet you, Sammy. But as I said, you're quite far from home, wouldn't you say?
I'm starting to get that. Where am I exactly?
The crow will go ahead and sweep his wing wide, which will be followed alongside with the arm of the dummy that is being dragged along by Noemon.
You're currently in a place known as the Server Peaks, here in the digital world.
Digital world? How did I get here? I mean, I was in school, like, not even 5 minutes ago. How is this possible?
A very good question, but not a lot of answers you'll find here right now.
I'll say.
Do you have a plan, little miss?
Well, I thought maybe if I got lower down, I'd get service on my phone and I'd be able to text my brother.
That certainly seems like a viable option. Further down the mountain would take you at least towards the firewall, and perhaps a little bit more safety.
Firewall? What are you talking about? Isn't a firewall like an internet thing?
You're in the digital world, miss.
That's gonna take some getting used to.
At which point Noemon will again peck at the dummy and the other hand will point further down the mountain.
It'd be best you make your way further down the mountain anyway. The further up is more dangerous. Much stronger Digimon like myself up here.
A Digimon? And dangerous how? I mean, I was just a little bit further up earlier on. Have I been in danger this whole time?
The digital world is a very dangerous place, if you don't have the right resources.
Well, what resources do I need and how do I get them? I'm... like, I just got here, and now you're telling me that it's, like, dangerous and stuff? And I'm all by myself. What am I supposed to do?
The crow will kind of scratch at its beak with one of its wings, kind of in thought for a moment, looking over at you and just seeing the kind of disheveled look and the general confusion of you.
Well, I suppose, as I said, heading down the mountain would be your best bet. You'll find less unruly Digimon, and much more amiable down there. I'm sure you'll find a friend.
Yeah, I guess I was headed that way anyway, but... I mean... Would you come with me?
Normally that would be the case, and I'd be happy to assist you. However, I am waiting on a compatriot of mine, and it'd be oh so rude of me to leave him stranded.
Oh. Okay, I guess.
If it's any consolation, you're not very far up the mountain. The base should just be a bit of a trek down further.
Okay. Thanks, I guess. And I'll wave at him and, like, I guess just start continuing down. I figure it's gonna take me a little bit considering my, like, issues.
You go ahead and wave off to the weird talking crow and figure who will peck at the figure to kind of give you a wave as you walk away.
Take care, little miss.
And you begin your trek down the mountain until the figure kind of fades from view. And as you're making your way down the mountain, you start thinking to yourself, I should really be winded right now. Like, I have to normally walk to school to get to the bus, and that takes a lot out of me. I have walked for now 30 minutes down a mountain. Like, not running, but I'm still trekking and trying to avoid falling and slipping down a slope. Why am I not exhausted right now?
Must be the adrenaline. That's gotta be it. I've heard that people can, like, lift cars off of babies with adrenaline rush.
So, you begin to make your way further down until the ground starts kind of leveling out a bit more. It's less of these steep inclines that you've been trying to navigate, less gravel and rock that you've had to avoid slipping on. And you can see that the area is starting to become more hill than mountainous. And as you're walking along, still just confused by everything that's kind of happening, you hear shouting coming from a little bit further away.
Oh.
And you hear rustling of rocks and branches from some of the worn trees over down at the lower part of the mountain. And you see a figure flying its way through the area that looks out of breath and looks like it is trying to avoid something. It keeps looking behind its back as it sprints away from you. And you see this little fellow.
Oh, a little guy. And he sprints past me?
He is kind of flying on these little wings and is coming towards your direction, but he's, like, flying very quickly, looking over his shoulder.
Okay. Am I able to see anything, like, behind him? Maybe, like, what he's looking for?
You can hear further rustling, but then you also can hear the sound of wind rushing around that is coming from that direction as well. Almost similar to, like, the beating of heavy wings.
Okay. I'm gonna look for a spot to hide.
Very well. You can go ahead and, I'd say give me a flight check at this point.
Okay.
I'd say I'm going to set the DC to 10 for this.
Okay. That is a 58.
Oh my god!
Holy shit! That's double explosion.
What?
Plus
that
an
is
18.
So,
That's
all right.
What?
So,
That is the highest number anyone has ever rolled on this whole show.
I'm fast as fuck, boys.
so I will ask you, Sammy, what happens?
I become one with the shadows and just, like, melt into, like, a shrubbery or something.
Very well. You go ahead and you hide behind some of the rocks nearby, and you realize actually that further behind one of the rocks, you can actually see that there is a bit of a crevice that is able to obscure you from view, but still look out and see what's going on. So, Luxmon.
Yeah.
Very few of your friends are left at this point. You left one of them behind as you were sprinting away. It's still coming after you.
I'm scared.
And it is at this point that you hear, coming from behind you,
Wait up, please. I can't go that fast.
and passing by from your hiding spot as well, Sammy, you see, running on all fours, this little fellow.
Look at that little guy!
And you see them actively, like, trying to look around to either run or find a hiding spot of some kind. And they are terrified.
Okay. Do I get the feeling that if I were to, like, signal to them, whatever's chasing them is gonna hear me too? Or is my flight roll high enough that I'm just stealth itself?
I'm going to say because of the 58, you are stealth incarnate.
Hell yeah. I'm just gonna, like, reach my hand out and sort of, like, wave at them and be like, come here!
Fair enough. The small dog is going to perk its ears up at this point and turn to where the noise is coming from and see you kind of tucked away in the crevice.
This way!
Luxmon, Salomon is going to turn to you.
There's a hiding spot over here. Please, this way, before it spots us.
Righto, little friend.
And the both of you will duck into the crevice behind the rocks, avoiding your pursuer. And as the both of you are kind of cuddled together with this strange individual that you've never seen before, who has pulled you into some form of hiding spot, you all hold your breath as you see coming into view from that slight crease in the crevice the body of your pursuer.
Oh.
It begins looking around, sweeping with its gaze. It never locks onto your spot, but you hear, as it opens its mouth and begins to attempt to speak, you hear the following.
Does this being have an attack charged or no?
For it begins to wander away, and you hear the flapping of wings. And like that, it's gone. Sammy, what are you doing?
I think all the tension just, like, left my body at once as I let out a huge breath, and then I'm like, what was that thing?
At which point, the little dog is going to kind of look up towards you.
This shouldn't be happening. He's supposed to be a nice guy. Why are things happening like this?
That's supposed to be a nice guy? Why was he chasing you then? Why did he sound like that? Gives me the creeps.
Oh no. We're the only ones that are left. All our friends.
And Salomon is going to kind of nuzzle up to you, Luxmon, kind of like in a pseudo hug of sorts.
There, little one. We gonna be alright.
What do you mean you're the only ones left? What happened to your friends? Are you okay?
The small dog is going to kind of look over towards you and take a hard swallow before addressing you.
We were just on the base of the mountain, playing with each other as we do. And Mr. Unimon came down. We thought he was here to scold us. And then he started making those noises, and he started attacking. And when my friends got hurt, they didn't get up. And they just broke apart.
I'm so sorry.
And she's gonna hold her arms out like, do you want a hug? Kind of deal.
Dog is going to be very hesitant at first and kind of look over towards Luxmon.
It's okay. She seems nice.
At which point, Salamon is kind of going to break down and rush over towards you and embrace you in a hug and just start softly crying.
Oh, my heart! I'm just gonna pat him on the head and be like, I don't know what's going on. I don't even really know where I am, but it sounds like you've been through a lot.
It sure has been a tough day. But I believe every time a tough day comes your way, that means some good gotta come your way too, when we found you at least.
Sammy just smiles and is just like, I guess you did. I'm Sammy.
Nice to meet you, little chickling.
I don't know. I was trying to find some kind of a southern thing to say. I've got the southern thing before.
You're trying.
My name's Luxmon. And this right here, this is Salamon.
Luxmon, Salamon, it's nice to meet you. I'm supposed to make my way to the bottom of the mountain, but is that the only thing like that kind of wandering around here?
I can't rightly say for sure, but I hope so.
If we make our way to the base of the mountain, that's where we always play. He knows. It's where he'll look for us.
Oh, okay. Well, I was told that higher up is more dangerous. I need to get somewhere where I have service.
And I'll like show my phone.
And Salamon's gonna look like, kind of pull themselves up a little bit to look at the device. Kind of, you see very, very frank confusion on their face as they kind of shake their head as they turn towards Luxmon.
I think we need to tell the leader. They need to know what's going on with Mr. Unimon.
Right then. Well, then we best get going, little one.
You said your name was Sammy, yes?
Yeah.
It is a little bit more dangerous up in the top parts of the mountain, but that's also where the leader of this place is. And they're friendly. They keep the peace in this place. And if they knew that Mr. Unimon was doing such bad things, they wouldn't let that happen. We have to let them know so we can stop this from happening to others.
I mean, that makes sense, but I have to get home. I don't even know how I got here. And if I got hurt or got in trouble, I don't know. My brother would be so upset. I need to at least let him know that I'm okay.
And she's just sort of like, I don't know what to do.
Plus, if I climb a mountain, coming down was okay, but climbing a mountain, I don't know if I can do it. Physically, I mean.
I'll be fine to carry you, little lady. I got these wings.
You should note that Luxmon is actually shorter than you, Sammy. So this is, while good-hearted, adorable to think.
I look at him like, sure, buddy. Whatever you say.
At which point, go ahead, yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Salamon at this point is going to go ahead and pull themselves from you and poke their head out of the crevice and sweep their head both ways.
I think it's safe to start heading up at this point. I can't hear Mr. Unimon.
Oh, I don't want to be alone, but yeah, actually, I don't want to be alone,
And I'm gonna follow.
Very well. You begin to make your way up the mountain once more. And It's about an hour at this point of climbing, because it's a little harder to go up the mountain than it is to go down, that you eventually reach, at least from your general recognition of the place, where you first entered the server peaks. And the odd figure with the crow is nowhere to be seen. Maybe he's met up with his friend.
Huh. It's weird. I mean, if he's met up with his friend, that's good for him, I guess. But yeah, this is familiar. I was here before, and then I came down and I met you, and now we're back. How much further to the top, you said?
At which point, Salamon is going to turn towards you.
It's gonna take some time to get all the way to the top. But I'm sure that if we take our time, we'll be able to make it just as soon as...
And as they say this, you hear the beating of wings once more.
Oh, hell.
And looking up into the sky, you can see the ominous figure that is and has been pursuing you.
I'm just gonna, like, look at Luxmon and Salamon and be like, scatter!
At which point, Salamon's gonna run one direction. Luxmon, where are you going?
I'm gonna friggin' try and, like, hide off the edge of, like, a cliff. Just my little wings keeping me up there, just hoping he doesn't notice me hanging off the edge. Because I don't know where a good place to hide is.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a dice to determine where Unimon decides to make its way towards. Sammy, you end up heading towards one direction, hiding behind some of the rocky faces. You see that Salamon is a little bit further up on the cliff from you, trying to run away. And you see what Salamon has been describing as Mr. Unimon open its mouth, and you see a crystalline clear orb beginning to form in its maw.
Oh no.
Before it rears its head back and hurls it down.
Oh no.
Luxmon, you don't even feel the impact
Oh no.
as you collapse to the ground. And you try to pick yourself up before you look down. And your left leg and your right wing are just gone. Broken fragments of data.
Little one! Protect him! Make sure my friend's okay.
Oh. Can I see Salamon from where I'm hiding?
You can see Salamon. They're just a little bit further north of you, like on a rock face, kind of looking down in horror. As Luxmon, you look up and you can see Salamon there.
Yeah, I look back to Luxmon and, like, I'm gonna nod at him and I'm gonna book it towards Salamon and, like, pick him up if I can.
Fair enough.
Does Luxmon have any energy left in him to do, like, some kind of attack to distract him?
Sure, you got, yeah, I'll say you have one in you.
He's gonna try and do some kind of, like, a light shot at him, just enough to distract him.
Very well. You go ahead and I'll do a dice roll for you to see how well that goes. Fair enough. And we'll see what the resistance is on them. Okay. So with the last of your strength, with one of your arms, you lift it up, you see a small bubble of light form over it as you punch outwards. It cracks Unimon across the jaw, dealing a point of damage to them. before Unimon comes down and lands on your body. And Sammy, all you hear is a shattering sound.
Oh my
as
god.
Luxmon is gone.
Oh no.
Before Unimon flicks its head back and forth, kind of getting itself back together, and focuses its attention further north, where Salamon is.
Yeah, I want to try to like grab Salamon and just keep running. Like,
you go ahead and you go ahead and you run up. You pick up Salamon in your arms.
What are you doing?
We have to get out of here. Did you just see what he did?
And you can feel from how you are holding Salamon, they have no strength in their body. All of it is gone to fear, grief, a mixture of hard emotions.
Yeah, she's just gonna run as hard as she can and like, I'm sorry, and just like keep apologizing as she's running.
As you make your way further up the mountain, climbing, pushing your legs as hard as you can, you catch your foot on a loose piece of gravel and slip. You're still holding onto Salamon as you're laying on your side, a scraped knee, looking up at this monstrosity coming towards you. It lands directly in front of the both of you. What are you doing?
Panicking. I guess I'm gonna like, in my mind be like, what would Reiner do? And I'll look around and see anything that's like anything loose near me.
Sure enough, there are a few loose rocks nearby.
I'm gonna like grab a rock and I'm gonna yoss it at him. Which is really
Sure
dumb,
enough.
but I'm doing it.
Salamon is gonna look at you with almost exasperation, like, are you kidding me? Like, you saw what he did and you think a rock's gonna... Go ahead and roll me a fight check.
Oh, yeah, that won't be good.
I will go ahead and roll the brawn check for Unimon.
Yeah, that's a 1 fight.
Yep. The rock impacts into the red cap of Unimon. And it's at this point that it is so close to you, you can see in the visor, you see what appears to be cascading numbers in black and white that are just going down the visor the whole time. And it opens its maw as you see another one of those pearlescent orbs beginning to form. And as you brace yourself for impact, you hear, "Not on my watch, little fella!" And there are boulders that appear on either side of Unimon before clashing into the middle, pinning it in position. The orb in its mouth disappears, and the boulders then tumble down the mountain. And Unimon, as far as you know, is just back at the base, squished between boulders. And you open your eyes, confused by, one, the series of events you've just seen, and two, the weird voice you've just heard, as you hear the crunching of rock on rock, until standing next to you, holding out a very stony arm. "You look a little scared there, miss. Might I be able to help you out a little bit?"
Yes, please. And she's gonna like get up, I guess, taking the hand that's held out to her. She's definitely like crying.
He's gonna go ahead and pick you up, and he'll realize that you kind of collapse onto him as he kind of like pats onto your back, holding both you and now Salamon. There, it's gonna be okay there, friends. I'm sure everything has been absolutely terrifying, and I cannot understand what it is that you've probably gone through, but everything's okay now. You're safe. Let's take a breather.
He that other guy, he got... He disappeared. What is going on? Who is that guy? Who are you?
Everything will be explained in due time, miss. But for the starters and introductions, my name is Mediamon. And I guess for all intents and purposes, I'm technically a bit of a hero around here.
Like, Ugly snorts back all her tears and is like, thank you for saving us.
At which point Salamon is equally ugly crying as you are, just looking over at Meteormon. Thank you so much. And he's going to kind of rub at the back of his head a little embarrassed. As I said, it's going to be all okay now. Let's start by getting some few things put together. What are your names?
My name is Sammy.
It's nice to meet you, Sammy.
It's nice to meet you too, Mr. Meteormon.
And Salamon is going to speak up at this point. My name is Salamon. Thank you for saving us, Mr. Meteormon. Oh, but of course. Now, you guys were running up the mountain, which was interesting. Is there something you were going for up there?
Salamon, you said something about a leader, right?
Salamon is going to kind of rub at their nose at this point, looking over towards Meteormon.
That's right. We wanted to let the leader of the server peaks know what was going on with Mr. Unimon. He turned crazy and started attacking all of my friends. And now I'm the only...
And he's going to start, like, eyes welling with tears again before Meteormon just goes, Now, let's all get ourselves a little bit of some happy smiles on things. He's no longer here. I'm here to help you all out. And I'll make sure we get up to the mountain lickety-split. But for starters, let's make sure you guys are all taken care of, shall we? And he's going to clap his hands together, and part of the mountain begins to reform itself until there's what appears to be a small stone shack that is built into the side of the mountain. And the way that the stone has warped, it almost looks like it's always been here. Come on in, let's get you out of the cold.
Nice tiny hut spell, Meteormon. And yeah, without question, I'm going in.
You make your way in, and there's already a little bit of stone furniture that's already kind of established. A small mound of loose dirt that could be described as a bed, possibly. A few stone chairs and a large stone table.
I think I'm going to sit in one of the chairs and just sort of like have a sit and to think.
Completely fair. Salamon is going to go over to where the little dirt mound is that could be a bed and kind of curl up and lay down just as a small whine as they try to take some deep breaths and get settled. I must say, it's been quite a long time since I've seen another human here in the digital world before. I wonder if they're doing that whole thing they used to do.
Someone else mentioned that there were other humans here. Do you know where they are? 'Cause I really need to get some service on my phone so I can call my brother.
At which point Meteormon is going to turn to you a little confused. Do you mind if I see that phone of yours?
Sure, I guess.
And I'll hand it over.
He's going to go ahead and look it over for the most part. Interesting. It's not a Digivice.
Well, no, it's a Samsung.
Well, that's where I'm a little confused by, miss. Because usually when humans make their way into the digital world, they usually get a Digivice to come with them. However, yours isn't. Which begs the question of what brought you in the first place.
There was like a bright light. It was weird, almost like lightning out of the phone, and then I was on a mountain.
Definitely not up to protocol. I'm gonna have to let Jordy know about this one for sure. Especially because we gotta get you home, little missy.
Yeah, that would be great. I would really like to go home, please.
Oh, but of course. Well, first and foremost, let's get y'all a little bit of time to get some breathers. And while we're waiting for the most part to make our trek up the mountain, you can kind of explain where it is you came from.
Okay. And I think Sammy's gonna, like, once she's had, like, a minute to think about it, she's like, so, there were other humans here, but they're not here now, right? Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. That's how the case used to be, at least for me and my partner, Geordie. Him and his buddies fell into the digital world a good number of years ago, and we went on all kinds of grand adventures together.
Yeah?
Yeah, but then he grew up and, got a job like an adult. He still comes to visit every now and again, and I get to go visit him every once in a while. But still, it's nice to have a place to call home.
Yeah. So if he can visit here, that must mean I can get home somehow, right? How does he come here?
Oh, that's usually as a result of the D terminals. It's a one-way gateway between here and the digital world, and making your way back to, well, what you would call the human world.
Okay. Sounds, well, I'm not gonna pretend I understand it, but where's the closest one?
Well, the closest one is gonna be on our destination up the mountain, for the most part. After all, if we're going to see the leader of the server peaks, well, they usually make their nest right on top of the D terminal. That is, unless they've made some redecorating lately. I certainly hope they haven't.
Okay. It's weird because someone told me to go to the base of the mountain and not the top, but I guess if I'm by myself, it's a little more dangerous.
The base of the mountain definitely has a lot less, unruly Digimon for the most part. As for the top of the mountain, well, that's where the strong like to survive.
Yeah. Strong at the top, I can see that. So how much further do we have to, walk?
We don't really have to be walking for the most part. We've been traveling the entire time, if you take a look outside the window.
What?
And I'm gonna run to the window.
Sure enough, you look outside and you can see that the stone hut that you have been in is gliding across the dirt and stone up the side of the mountain.
What kind of magic?
Speed.
This is crazy! I can't even feel it moving! How are you doing this?
At which point, Meteormon is gonna kind of scratch at his nose with one of his fingers. I'll have you know I'm very good at what it is that I do. I'm an ultimate level after all. I've got a lot of strengths.
This is so cool!
And I'm just gonna look back out the window like a dog in the, like a dog in the car that's head out window.
Yep, and you can feel the Russian breeze coming by if you're kind of poking your head out the window.
Honestly, this is great because if I had to walk much further, I would have probably needed my inhaler, and I don't even. And I'm gonna pat my pockets, be like, I don't have my inhaler.
Wherever it must have been, it might have fallen out when you were on the run with everyone.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of panic at that, and I'm just gonna sit down and not do anything strenuous, and I won't need it, and it'll be fine.
Sure enough, and a good 30 minutes or so pass. At this point, Salomon has calmed down and is kind of gonna make their way over to the window as well to see the fast movement of the stone hut that you're in. Until eventually, you reach the top of the mountain. And as you walk out of the entryway, you can see that before you is a black tower that appears to pierce even higher in the clouds than the mountain has.
Whoa, is this that D-terminal thing you told me about?
Yes, indeed. Joldy and his friends helped to make these things for the most part.
Jeez, how long that must have took. This thing is huge.
It definitely took a little while, that's for sure. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into work on this one. Anyway, let's see if we can get our good old pal to wake up for the most part. At which point, Meteormon is going to walk over to the tower and place their hand on the side of it, and you'll feel a shaking underneath your feet for a moment. And you'll hear the rustling of branches and the beating of very heavy wings.
Oh boy.
And you see a glint of gold in the few clouds that are still above you at this point. Until eventually, landing before you, is this creature. Much larger than all of you with 4 golden wings.
I'm gonna like lean down to Sammi, like, that's the leader, isn't it?
Going, Phoenixmon. It's been a hot minute for the most part. At which point, Phoenixmon will bow their head down.
Meteormon, it has been quite some time since you've called upon me. For what purpose is your visit?
Oh, well, that's the tricky part for the most part. Things got a little complicated down at the lower end of your mountain here. Needless to say, someone's being a bit of a troublemaker. And he'll turn over towards you, Sammy, as well as Salamon. I think it'd be best if you hear from these two about it. After all, they kind of experienced the most of it.
We got attacked by, I think you said his name was Unimon, right?
That's right. Mr. Unimon was all upset and speaking in a weird voice. His eyes didn't look right. And he hurt all of my friends, and I don't know if they're coming back.
It's true, I also saw him. There was another guy with this Luxmon. He disappeared. I don't know where he went, but it didn't sound good.
At which point Phoenixmon is gonna kind of nod their head.
And what exactly did you see when Luxmon disappeared?
Well, I was kind of running away at the time, but I just heard like this shattering noise. I didn't really see much, but he was like missing limbs. It was so awful.
Phoenixmon's eyes are going to go wide at the mention of this.
This does not bode well. This is not the digital rebirth cycle. Something is off.
That's what I've been trying to say. Clearly something's going on here, aside from the fact that we've got a human in the digital world.
And I gotta go home.
At which point, Meteormon will go ahead and make his way over to the D terminal. Luckily for you, we can easily do that if we just simply open up the... And he's gonna, like, kind of use his fingers to try and pry open the door to no avail. Hey, Phoenixmon, what gives? Why ain't the D terminal opening up?
I was about to explain. Over the last few days, many changes have occurred in the digital world. The fact you haven't noticed is interesting. The firewalls are up, and the D terminals were deactivated. Something's wrong.
They were all deactivated. Well, that's certainly strange indeed.
Well,
For what purpose would they want to do that?
if it's deactivated, does that mean we can't use it?
Sorry, little miss, it means that your quick way home isn't really online right now.
Well, how do we get it back online? Do we just, is there like a power button? Like, can we turn it off and back on again and then just see if it reboots?
Well, normally that'd be the case on things, but unfortunately, without someone here with a Digivice, we don't really have a key to unlock the D terminal.
You've said that word a couple times. What does it even mean? What is a Digivice?
Ah, well, a Digivice is a solid proof of a partnership between a human and a Digimon. It kind of makes sure that, you're working together. Mano a mano, best of buddies and things. Jordy's got one. At least he does when he comes here. I think when he's home, he calls it I think he calls it an iPhone. One of those. Anywhoosie. That's what he's got when he's over here. But yeah, I don't have one, unfortunately, and, well, only humans carry them.
Well, what if we got in contact with your Jordy?
That's the thing, is that I'd love to be able to get in contact with him, but it seems things might be a little bit delayed. And, well, let's be honest here, if I try to go and see him now, it might leave you alone for a little bit too long.
And she's gonna kind of just like, she's think about it for a sec and be like, I'm a human. Not a sentence I ever thought I'd say, but how do I get one? Do I
Well,
just
that's
like
the
shake
thing,
hands?
is that it's you need to have a bond kind of established between yourself and a Digimon, and, well, you only just showed up.
Oh, so it's gonna take time? I don't have that long.
Unfortunately, this isn't going to be a quick fix here, miss.
And she's gonna sit on the ground next to the D terminal, I guess, and be like, oh man,
If I'm missing for too long, Reiner's gonna have a conniption. And if he has a conniption, he's gonna put me on onion duty, which means that he's gonna make me cut onions until my eyes bleed. And I don't want to cut onions till my eyes bleed. Can I make a connection with you? I mean, you've been nice enough.
Unfortunately, I already have a partner, like I said. Good old Geordie, and, well, it's kind of a one-to-one on that end of things.
Ugh. This system sucks.
I don't make the rules here, miss. It is what it is. That said, if you wanted me to go and ask Geordie about what's going on, I'd be happy to try and make contact with him about it. But like I said, it'll probably be a couple of days. Phoenixmon, you wouldn't happen to be able to take care of this one in my absence, would you? At which point Phoenixmon kind of shakes their head.
If there is discord in my domain, I must see to it at my own cost. Unfortunately, I will not be able to protect the human. That said, I may be able to find a suitable replacement of a champion.
Well, that sounds just wonderful. Where are they at exactly?
It shall take some time to summon them here. But when they arrive, it would be best that you make your way back down the mountain.
I just got to the top. You know, fine. Okay, I guess.
You've got somebody who's coming here to protect you for the most part. It means I can go off and do my thing. Like I said, I'll be back as soon as I can. It might be a couple of days, though. So, if you need any supplies, there should be some in the hut. At least before you make your trek down. Anything else I can do for you, miss?
If you get to talk to Jordy, can you get him to text this number?
and I'm gonna like pull up the phone and hold up Reiner's number and just be like,
Get him to text this number and tell him that I'm here and that I'm safe for the most part, but and not to put me on onion duty.
Consider it fully memorized, miss. Anyway, I'll be off and on my way then. I'd say take some time, and maybe a day or so, to get yourself in order. Today's been rough. At which point, Meteormon is going to go ahead and hold a hand close to their chest, and you'll see their body begin to glow with light before kind of flattening out, and with a shooting motion as a beam of light jumps into the sky, and like that, Meteormon is gone. Phoenixmon will turn down towards you.
Please get some rest. When the champion arrives, you will make your descent.
Okay. Thanks, I guess.
and I'll go into the hut.
Very well. Salomon at this point has kind of been looking back and forth over this whole thing. And as you're kind of sitting there in the hut, just contemplating everything, they will wander in and lay down kind of at your feet as you're sitting there.
I think I'm just gonna, without saying anything, just absently pet Salomon's head.
Very well. It takes a total of 2 days before this champion arrives. So it is now the start of your 3rd day in the digital world. You've had time to kind of muck about at the top of the mountain and have some few chats with Salomon to try and help him to cope with everything that's happened. It's nice to talk to someone who actually understands because they've been in the situation.
Solidarity.
Until eventually Phoenixmon comes down from their perch at the top of the terminal.
The champion arrives. Prepare yourself for the journey. I wish you luck, human.
Thank you.
And would I have like found any like food or like supplies that I can, throw into a bag of some kind if we're gonna walk down?
There would have been some stuff left over from a Meteormon that was provided for you. It's not
Cool.
very well crafted stuff, mind you. It's pretty like worn, but there's at least a small satchel, and Phoenixmon would have come by with some small foods, mainly like berries and things like that, to provide for you.
Cool.
Until eventually, as you begin to kind of crest over where the top of the mountain is, you can see a figure, a very large and muscled figure, beginning to make their way towards the top of the mountain. Until eventually they are in full view and they address you.
Oh my god.
Good day, young miss. I'm to be your charge, and I will be escorting you down the mountain.
Hi, my name's Sammy. Thank you for escorting me, I guess. What's your name?
My name is Leomon, and I am a proud warrior, one who directly serves under Phoenixmon. You will be safe under my watch.
Well, you certainly seem like you're built for it.
Your words do me a kindness, miss. Now come, we have a long journey ahead.
Question for you, Nick.
Possible answer, as
In the,
Phoenixmon
like-
kind of flies up the perch.
In the like 2 days that I've been at the top of the mountain, and I haven't had any of my medications, I haven't noticed any changes in my physical status.
You would have put two and two together at this point that as far as you've been here, you haven't taken any of your meds, you haven't felt bad, and you know how bad you feel when you forget to take your medications. And the fact that you've been able to feel, for the first time in years, what you could consider normal has been kind of a light in the dark over this whole situation.
I think I've been practicing doing cartwheels and stuff. Now that I can.
Yep. Which would have been
Definitely.
fine because the dirt up here would have been like kind of flattened out enough via Phoenixmon just from making their perch.
Sweet. Just cartwheels off the mountain. No, I'm kidding.
So it takes another day of journeying down the mountain. It's about day 4 at this point, and sure enough, Leomon has been an excellent guide getting you down the mountain. Has been able to stop you from kind of tripping and falling over loose rocks and things, and you notice that alongside the journey, I mean, Salamon's been with you this entire time. Kind of just almost afraid to let you go because of how things have been. They're still so, like, scared and just feel that attachment to you from, like, someone who is there.
Yeah. I think there are like points at which Sammy would even carry Salamon like through like the more steep parts. Just purely out of like, you're clearly like going through it.
Fair enough. So, it's at this point that as you are about midway through the 4th day, that Leomon, as you're making your way down the mountain, just kind of skipping along and avoiding some of the rough patches, he places a hand out to stop you.
Something's wrong.
What is it? What do your Leomon eyes see?
Show yourself, coward.
And you see, stumbling from behind one of the rocks, a relatively familiar face.
Oh, hey, it's you.
And the figure is going to kind of look up towards you. Again, the body has kind of like a drawn-on face, so there's no expression. But the bird perched on the shoulder, its head is kind of down, not looking at you as it wanders its way into view.
Hey, you told me to go to the base of the mountain, and that's where people were getting attacked. What's up with that, huh? Did you know what was going on?
At which point, its head is going to shoot up straight, staring at you, and its black, beady eyes are now rolling with black and white data.
Oh, no.
And it's at this point that the figure draws its bow, and Leomon begins to pull out his blade from the back, and is unable to see it coming as another familiar figure tackles him off the side of the mountain.
Oh, no!
And they both plummet down.
Oh, hell. Leomon!
The figure
Cephalopod, we
before
gotta
you
do something.
draws its bow. And it is at this point that I would like you to roll me a flight check and roll one as well for Salamon to determine initiative order.
Oh boy. Okay, that's a 12 fight for Sammy. For Salamon.
14 for
That's
Salamon.
14, yeah.
And
That's
we'll go
actually
ahead and
pretty
roll one for Noemon here. And that is going to be a 3 for Noemon. So, top of the order is Salamon, who is going to go ahead and they are, at this point, kind of backing away, scared. It's their whole nightmare all over again. They are trying to get it together. If you'd like to go ahead and roll me a grit check for Salamon, we're going to set the DC to 10.
Oh, I have to explode to get that. That's a 7. Can I add
Salamon,
adversity?
You may.
Or do you want to wait?
No, you may.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna add 4.
Very well. You see that Salamon is beginning to kind of back away in fear before you kind of step forward and meet the challenge. Salamon is shocked that you would try to stand up to one of these abominations. And stops itself from running away. It is now your go.
Okay. I think I'm gonna like. Can I like rush him and try to like wrestle the bow away? Can I do that as a flight check? Because I'm fast.
I'd say if you want to try and like quickly get in and grab the bow and get out, so sure, go ahead and roll me a flight check. I will be rolling a brawn check for him to hold on to that bow.
Okay. Okay, it's a 7 flight. I rolled it to Salamon, but I meant to as Sammy.
No, that's fair. And that is a 12 on the brawn check for Noemon. So, Noemon is going to go ahead and pull at the figure, and its arm is going to yank away from yours as you try to grab the bow. It is now its turn, as he's going to go ahead and roll a fight check to try and kick you back towards where Salamon is. It's going to be a D10 on their fight check. That is a 9. Go ahead and give me a flight check to try and dodge out of the way.
It's a 5.
Would you like to add tokens to that?
Yes, I would. I think.
All right, you have to meet or beat a 9.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna add 4 to meet it.
Very well. So you go ahead and you try to get out of the way, but your foot slips on some of the gravel, and you land on your butt as the kick goes right over your head.
Ooh!
It's at this point that it's now Salamon's turn, who grits their teeth and rushes to your side.
No more running away. We're finishing this here. Right?
You got it.
Then let's get this. Partner.
And Salamon is going to go ahead and make I'd say go ahead and make me a fight check with Salamon. Add a +1 to this because it is a vaccine versus a virus.
Ooh, nice. All right. That is a 6.
We'll go ahead and roll their flight check to see if they dodge out of the way. That is a 3, so they do not, as Salamon barks with a puppy howling and sends Noemon flying backwards a bit further down the mountain as they take a point of damage.
Hell yeah.
At this point, you're able to kind of stand up, dust yourself off. What are you doing?
Well, first I'm gonna like look at Salamon and be like, "Good job!" And then I'm gonna try to rush and like. So you said he was like further down the mountain. Is he closer to the edge?
He's tumbling down the mountain right now, but he's still on the main path as you guys.
Okay.
So not towards an edge specifically, kind of blocking your route.
All right. I think I'm gonna look around again and see like are there any projectiles around me?
There are plenty of rocks. There are plenty of small rocks.
It's like the only thing I can think to do because like grappling isn't gonna be a strong suit for me.
Fair.
So yeah, I'm gonna toss a rock at him.
Very well. Go ahead and give me a fight check. I'll be doing a brawn check to try and block it.
Okay. It's a 4.
And that is a 6. So take your 1 token for failure.
Thank you.
As the crow is going to kind of pull the body up to shield itself as the rock impacts into the dummy, but does not hit the crow. No damage.
Oh man. Nothing I'm doing is working.
It's now Noemon's turn, who's going to stand itself up and caw into the ear of the puppet, who will then draw the bow and fire an arrow at Salamon. This will be a fight check for them. They will get a -1 penalty for this. So that is a 6. Salamon either has to flight to dodge or brawn to tank it.
Oh, for sure, flight.
Alrighty. You have to meet or beat a 6.
Okay. That's a 9.
So the arrow aims straight at Salamon, who jumps up into the air to dodge out of it. And while airborne, if you'd like to go ahead and make a fight check for me for Salamon, who's coming down.
Hell yeah.
Add a +1 to this for vaccine versus virus.
Perfect. That's a 6 fight.
That is a 6 fight. Very well. We'll go ahead and see what their flight is to get out of the way. That's not enough, as they go ahead and take another point of damage as Salamon comes down, paws forward, and pushes them further down the mountain.
Hell yeah.
As you're kind of gathering yourself at this point, you feel a warmth in your pocket.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put my hand in my pocket and pull out what I'm assuming.
You pull out what should be your phone, but it's glowing. And eventually, it sort of shrinks down in size until eventually you're holding a small rectangular device. It's got 3 buttons on the side and a small little window. And a small keychain.
I want to hold it out to Salamon and be like, "Is this that Digivice thing?"
That's it. It's because we're partners now.
Hell yeah! Don't tell anyone I said that.
Your secrets are safe with me, partner.
Let's get his ass!
And as Salamon begins to run down the mountain to go after Noemon, who's pulling itself up, you hear from the side of the mountain, "Well spoken!" And you see a arm climb itself up from the side as Leomon pulls himself up onto the mountain once more.
Oh, hell yeah!
Let's make this a fair fight, young one.
Can I look at Noemon and be like, "Oh, you're in trouble now!"
As far you can, sure enough, and as far as you're aware, Noemon does not even react. It is now going to be at this point Leomon's turn, who will come in at the bottom of the order. who is going to come in and from the side with one of his empty fists that's not holding the blade. Fist of the Beast King! And we'll go ahead and roll for his attack roll. And we'll roll for the defense roll. Alrighty. So, with a large impact, Noemon gets clipped by this bluish aura that comes out of Leomon's fist as the ragdoll body flings over the side. And the crow, while still in the air, is kind of tumbling over back and forth until eventually it freezes midair. And its mouth opens up, but instead of that hideous sound, you see white light begin to pour out of its mouth until it forms a solid white ring around itself. And you feel a tugging sensation from your Digivice.
I hold out the Digivice, and I'm like gonna run towards the light with it out in front
Very
of
well.
me.
You go ahead and you run towards it, holding your Digivice out, and the white ring surrounding Noemon floods out of it and into your Digivice. And in your inventory, you can add 1 heal chip as the crow of Noemon collapses to the ground in front of you and is very softly breathing. Combat is now over.
Oh, so sweaty. I think I'm gonna like step back towards Leomon and Salamon and be like, Do you think it's over?
It most certainly is, young one.
What happened to it? I spoke to that Digimon like 4 days ago.
This is certainly more interesting than what occurred on my end. This Digimon survived. In my fight with Unimon, I unfortunately was left with no choice.
I think Sammy is like, looks sad, but also just is sort of like, well, them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks, son.
Sucks to suck, get good, scrub.
Exactly.
But is gonna approach Noemon again and like lightly nudge the bird with my toe.
Well, you go ahead and you nudge the bird, and sure enough, it will slowly begin to stir.
Goodness. Where am I?
You're still on the mountain. You just attacked us. What was that? What was all of that about?
I just attacked. Strange. I don't remember. Young miss, you're still on the mountain.
That's an awfully convenient excuse, mister.
The last I recall, I was meeting my friend Unimon. And then everything's a blank.
At which point, Leomon is going to speak up.
Your friend is the one that caused all of this devastation. And it appears that they had done the same to you, making it a member of its cultish origins. How you've been saved, I'm not sure, but you will pay for your crimes.
And Noemon's kind of gonna shake his head a little bit.
I can't remember what happened. But if I've caused harm, clearly I have some recompense to be done. Whatever you deem fit, I suppose it'll be worth it. Though, would you permit me to make a new dummy, please? Mine seems to have fallen off the mountain.
At which point, Leomon is going to sigh.
You will take your judgment up with Phoenixmon at the head of the mountain. The start of paying for your crimes will be the climb. You will walk, not fly.
And Noemon is going to nod as their head hangs low. And they turn towards you, Sammy.
I am sorry, miss. I do wish you the best, though.
Good luck with your climb. It's not short.
Such a crime fits the punishment. Or vice versa. Either way.
And Noemon will begin waddling up the mountain. Hurt and broken, but very much alive.
I'll turn to Leomon and be like, do you think he's really going to go the whole way? Especially if we leave him alone?
If he means to make amends for his crimes, he will. That said, I am impressed, young miss. You were able to dispel the evil that had overtaken him.
I don't know how I did that. Honestly, it was kind of pure intuition and reaction. And I mean, look, I got a Digivice now, and I'll show it to Leomon. And this is what did it, really. It wasn't me.
Impressive indeed. Then I suppose you're gaining your own strength as you make your way through this world.
I guess so. I mean, I have an amazing partner after all.
And I'll look at Salamon and sort of like give him a smile.
At which point, for the first time, you'll see Salamon, who is no longer like cowering or just kind of disheveled and tired. You see a confident smirk on their face.
Well, naturally. We can only be the best of partners. The rest of this trek will be nothing.
You said it.
Well spoken indeed. Come, we'll descend a bit further and rest for the day. We've done good work.
And as you begin to make your way a bit further down the mountain from a very interesting turn of events of the day, that's where we're going to take our first break.
I can't believe you made me think he was going to die.
Unimon's fine, right? Unimon's fine.
Nick, you're
He's
being
gonna
quiet.
show up
Unimon's
later
fine, right?
feeling just great.
Unimon's great, right?
He's gonna unhinge his jaw and manifest some newfound friendship.
Yeah. Unimon is just like healing at the base of the mountain. They can fly, so they're fine.
Yeah, he's pulling a
everything's-
Superman and has entered a healing coma,
Yeah,
whereupon he will awaken fully fine.
they're in the space hospital.
I had a very interesting learning experience here. It's
Yes.
very nerve-wracking to play a character that basically, the difference between us playing our players is, we kind of know what, our drives and what goes on with them. And then, Luxmon, it's just like, oh, okay, DM, what am I doing?
Also, did you call me a chicklet?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that about?
I tried to say, I was really trying to figure out something southern to say, but nice.
I think you
and
meant
I tried
to
to
say
say
chitlin.
chitlin, and chiclet
Yeah.
came out.
Shall I compare thee to a piece of dry gum?
Thou art not the juicy fruit of my eye.
God.
God damn.
I'm so sweaty.
I'm like,
out.
what the fuck am I gonna do? What's the nicest voice I can think of? And I thought of Fix It Felix from Wreck-It Ralph.
Aw, that's adorable. I'm sorry, I killed you.
Luxmon's fine, right?
Yeah.
Everything's great.
He's just going to a farm up north. The farm is real.
He's going to the great farm in the sky.
Out to pasture.
I didn't know. I was so fucking I don't know what to do, but I don't want to screwed up, so I'm just gonna like fucking first instincts. Let's go.
Oh my god. Oh,
What a good time.
oh man.
Oh man.
Be right back.
I'll
That's
remember
fair.
you.
So Chad, we're 4 days into Sammy's adventure. How are y'all feeling? 'Cause I feel
How we
great. I'm having
It-
a great time.
It seems like we're at such a good spot to like end it where nothing else bad could possibly happen.
Yeah,
But there's still 6 days left, which seems to imply different things about that.
There's still a very alive Leomon right there.
Yosh now. I have to remember what
He was almost at the point where he wasn't, if that makes you feel any better. It was touch and go there for a hot second.
Demonics, I will let you know. If I am aware ahead of time, I will be doing a southern thing. Oh. I notice.
Like, I was so ready to voice Unimon. Was so ready. I'm like, here's
Was
my
that the
chance.
plan? Was that what it was?
It was, and I'm sorry. The rules
It
were not
didn't happen
going-
that way.
The
Didn't
rules
work
were
out.
not going very well on either side on things, at least on my end. So I'm like, well, I can either have Leomon, handle this, or have it be a tag team fight. But we're already pretty far along.
I
So-
thought
Yeah.
that was the case, but then I'm like, well, I mean, he hasn't talked, so maybe it was someone else. So I can...
I was like, I'm ready. Does he have the marble in his mouth or not? I know what to do either way. I can make this happen. You're like, he actually says, I'm like, understandable and
So-
fair. I'll just wait for my time. I'm sure it will come soon.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. No, it's actually really funny.
Also, I'm back, by the way.
Hello, it's been so long.
I know, it's
We-
crazy.
We actually had a few donations in between.
We
and one's
did.
an interesting question.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Thank you guys so much for donating to the one shot.
Yeah, holy crap. That's super cool. I'm gonna find where our last donation was. I believe it was this one. Yes, that should be it. Yes, okay. So the most recent, three most recent donations we got are one from Autumn Woodham for $5, saying, parentheses, a young girl who has a small dog companion winds up lost in another world where she meets a dummy of a scarecrow. I think I've seen this one before.
So somebody had posited the Wizard of Oz theory at us like months ago, and
Mhm.
I didn't plan for that to be the case, but it's hilarious that now that has been the case in the form of we now have the Scarecrow with the lion. Where's our Tin Man?
Truly.
Hi,
guess-
Andromon.
I mean, if we want to be real, if we want to make a stretch out of it, we can say it's a Meteormon.
God.
I feel like that's reaching.
It really is.
So that'd
Oh.
be a point for Sammy then, I think.
I
right?
think so. That seems
Yeah,
like a
it's a point
Sammy
for
point.
Sammy.
Thank you very
Heck
much.
yeah.
Where's the
Uh,
flying monkeys?
Good question.
You're tempting fate. Next up is...
Look, we already have Mon, but they show up later. Okay, he doesn't
If
have wings.
Monmon's strong enough without the gift of flight.
You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't activate the monkey's paw.
Mm-hmm. The flying monkey's paw. Next up, we have Bad Sage Advice, who donated $50 and says, "Hey Nick, torture your players with these tokens. Scar them emotionally." From Bad Sage Advice.
Oh, okay.
That's really the advice to give any writer.
I think
It
so
really
too.
is.
Oh, it is.
How
Oh,
will the
boy.
characters grow if they don't have trauma?
Yep, fair. Make a very valid point.
It's true.
So
Next
should they
up
face
is the-
adversity? No. Step further than that.
No, the tokens are for adversity. Next up, we have
The trauma's
Anime
for me.
Dude, Anime Dude 1287, who donated $5, saying point towards whoever needs it. If Netflix announced a live-action Digimon show, and based it on this roleplay, how would you feel, and who would you want your characters to be played by? Also, my last project went well. You guys helped out a lot.
Woo!
Woo!
Good project. Sammy, take your token. And
They based a live-action Digimon series off of this roleplay. I would think the writer's strike must be hitting really hard.
Yeah.
and the scabs are really looking for work.
But jokes aside, besides that be fucking astonishing and awesome and whatnot, I actually have an answer for this.
Go for it.
Oh yeah.
I would like Grant Gustin to play Riot. I think
look
he
up
could
who
do
that
it.
is. Give me a moment.
Yeah, I'm googling it.
It's
Grant.
it's
Oh,
fast John Mulaney.
Fair. Fair.
Oh my god.
Dye his hair black,
Oh.
give it a little bit of length. He's pretty versatile.
Yeah.
He's Barry Allen in The Flash.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's also in Glee.
Yeah. He was in Glee?
Apparently.
Damn.
I'm looking at
Well, in
his-
that one. I guess in that case, Chase, who would you want to play Gary?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
He might do it too.
He would, honestly.
For the right amount of money.
You
I
know?
mean, he's one step away from Nick Cage's level of I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I'm joking on that, but Dwayne The Rock Johnson should obviously play Reiner, who is the cook, so that we can smell what The Rock is cooking. And also going along with Reiner's habit of throwing rocks.
It's all
What
coming
about-
together.
What about
The themes
Jesse
are there.
Eisenberg?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg as Reiner?
Yeah, is that his name? The one who played Lex Luthor in the bad
Yeah.
time they played Lex Luthor, but he's actually a really good off.
Sadly, yes, that's the correct person.
Yeah.
Yep.
He
That
also
is.
played the Zuck.
He's a really good actor. That was a bad choice to put him as that.
He's also in Now You See Me.
He's typecast as manic pseudo genius constantly. That's like the one main character trope that he's brought in with.
Also, Michael Cera would be a good fit for Gary.
I was kind of thinking of that, but I'm like, maybe someone who's not like 50.
That's the thing,
know?
right? All these people that we think of,
You
like, they
know?
were playing teenagers, and a lot of them are like, we're not anymore.
They are not kids anymore, friend. We have to choose younger actors now. Dang it.
We have to know younger actors now. Damn it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm out on that one, unfortunately, because I don't pay attention.
Me too. Big mood.
That's why
what's
I
his name?
went
Is
to
his-
Grant Gustin and not anybody else that came to my mind.
The guy who's playing Luffy in the live action has
Oh, Inaki?
ER's energy. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Fully.
He's got ER's energy. I'm fully here for that.
Yeah.
I could see him in a beanie and missing 5 teeth. Or 6, sorry, 6.
Mm-hmm.
And
Who
then
would
the
play the-
person
who-
who's playing Kobe can play Grayson.
Yeah,
That'll work.
I could see that.
Who would voice the Digimon? Because we can just get voice actors for that.
That's true. That's super true.
I mean, why wouldn't all of you just voice the Digimon at that point?
Fair.
Because
That would
I
be
don't want to
great.
put John Mulaney out of work. It's a hard time for him lately.
Oh my god.
Also, as fun as it would be to, run myself into the ground voicing every other character in the show.
It's almost like you're like Matt Mercer or something.
Ah, fuck.
We just get D. Bradley Baker to voice all the digitized, like corrupted Digimon, and he just does that soundboard like with his throat.
That's
Like,
like,
you
I
just
don't
make
know
it
how
sound
you
like
did
that.
that, but okay.
Yeah. Oh fuck. I'm trying to think of child actors that could play Sammy, and I'm like, I can't think of any.
Like
Because I-
by the time you get like familiarized with what child actors are out there, they become teen actors like immediately, and then adult actors within the blink of an eye.
I'm kind of
I'm
leaning on like
literally-
Bella Ramsey right now.
I can't think of the actor's name, but I'm literally picturing Dustmon, and all you hear is the voice actor from Ansem from Kingdom Hearts, just like, I will defeat you with the power of darkness.
I mean,
Turns to Flamemon. You can wait your turn, also ran.
Now that's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
There it is.
Goonimon.
Yeah.
A Goonimon is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Who I need to remember his name. Who is it Vin Diesel who does the Fast series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just love a Goonimon as Vin Diesel and just being like, it's about family, Duskamon.
Hell yeah.
God, that'd be good. I think that covers that bit.
And then last part. I'm forgetting his name. As I went to say it, why would I do that? Billy West or the guy who played Yakko Warner.
I know who you're fucking talking about. I just can't think of his name.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can think of all the work he's done. Call it to my brain, but can't think
He
of his
plays
name.
Donatello in the 2012 TMNT.
Rob Paulson.
Thank you.
That's
Yes, Rob Paulson. One of them for Terriermon.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a little criminal.
Yes, a tiny little criminal man.
Big fan.
2 more donations we got till we're out. Can jump back into it. We have $1 from Fierce DD Link, who donated just for the pepper, saying Datamon is the Tin Man. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
There we go.
And then Bad Sage Advice donated $5, saying, Sammy, take your token. I'm loving the one shot. Also, he was in Glee!
Thank you. Yes, he was in Glee, apparently. According to IMDb.
He's
And
0
that's
degrees
never
of
lied.
separation away from
Oh, not even
Darren
once.
Criss, who played Harry Potter in a Harry Potter musical.
Uh-oh.
I won't go along with this, but like, now that the Flash is over, I was wondering, his career's got to keep going up, right? And then the last thing I saw was he's in an Amazon original movie that's about 2 people whose dogs go on a dog date, then fuck, and then they accidentally from that, they're like, hey, this is your dog's fault, and then somehow they end up dating.
The live-action Lady and the Tramp, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like written in today's whatever writers.
As God intended.
I'm over here like, I hope his career's still going up.
I hope it's okay.
Don't worry, Digi-Destiny will be what brings him back up.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty.
Do we
said
want
we
to
got
roll
one
back
more?
into things?
Yeah, I see.
Did you say we had one more, or am I mishearing?
Those were the 2. It was
Okay.
the $1 of Datamon is a Tin Man. And then Shock of Glee casting.
That's fair. Very well then, if we'd like to... Yeah, go ahead.
Because someone said earlier, but I like you doing the bit, fine, I'll do it right quick. Hey guys, since we're heading out of break back into game, please remember, we don't interact with chat ever during live session stuff. Nothing against you guys. We love you guys, but we want to keep the immersion on stream. So, if you see anybody in chat who's coming in new to it, doesn't know what's going on, trying to get our attention, that kind of stuff, just let them know. Hey, we don't interact during those things, but you're welcome to chat and have fun with each other. Interact, have a great time. We love you guys, and we hope you enjoy these. Yeah.
Just know that we keep our hands and legs inside the stream at all times, other than on break.
Alright. Ready?
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and slide ourselves back on over. So, Sammy, it is another 2 days of travel.
Oh boy.
And during that time, you are now really starting to connect with Salamon. You're kind of discussing a lot of how things were back home, discussing your brother and all of the hard work he's been trying to put into things, a little bit of the family situation at home. And Salamon's kind of been trying to do their best to describe a little bit about how the digital world works. He goes on to describe that there are different types of Digimon that are out there. That they go in various different branches of types, but also in various forms and levels.
So for me, I'm what's known as a rookie. Means I
Okay.
just have enough strength to get to fighting stuff.
And the rookies are the little guys. And then if I let me try to remember what you said. So the rookies are like your level, little guys.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. And then it's champions.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
that's like Mr. Leomon over here.
Who just kind of nods and grunts.
Yeah. Right. Okay, good. And then after that was the ultimates, right?
Yeah, that's the ultimates. That's like Mr. Meteormon.
Yeah. Okay. And then after that was Mega, right?
Yeah, Megas. They're not very often around here for the most part, but I know that Phoenixmon, the leader here, has definitely got to be Mega.
I mean, did you see how big he was? Of course he is.
Phoenixmon is very, very strong.
I believe you.
And then we'll also go on to describe the various like types as well, like vaccine, virus, data, and free types. And kind of just how the weird triangle system works with them, with free being kind of the outlier. So on day 6 of your journey, you are able to see the bottom of the mountain. The hills have finally descended and started evening out, and you can see that just past where some of the grass is growing and part of the bits of shrubbery that are here on the mountain, you can see that it's starting to fade into more dust and dirt. And looking just beyond the horizon, you can see that the area here will eventually transition into sand.
Salamon, what's past the mountain? I never really asked you about, like the areas. You said that, if Phoenixmon is the leader here, does that mean there are other big ones?
There's a bunch of different areas, but I've never really gone to them before. I've usually done all of my work, all of my stuff here, and, well, this is where I've lived. Here on the peaks. I haven't really been venturing out to other places.
At which point, Leomon will speak up at this point.
Beyond here will be the static desert. It is a rural terrain, very rough. It is here that we will begin to make our camp and wait for Meteormon to return. He should have answers as well as more supplies.
All right. I guess I'll just start to, we've reached camp essentially.
You've reached the base of the mountain, so at this point you can kind of start wandering and find a suitable place to set up camp.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for a clearing.
Very well. You go ahead and you find a decent enough clearing that's just a little bit of a ways out of the way. And as you begin to step forward, you feel yourself bump into something. Like, full stop. To the point where you almost, hurt your nose. Like running into a wall.
Ah, jeez. What was that?
And you'll notice that as you look up at the impact area, you'll see a little bits and flakes of data that rise up before kind of fading away. And Leomon will walk over towards you and place his hand forward. Again, it's being stopped by this invisible force.
It appears we've reached the firewall.
Oh, yeah, someone did mention that. What's it for?
The firewall is a barrier between the various areas. It precludes other Digimon from going from place to place that they don't need to be able to go to. It protects us from outsiders. And it allows others through that need business in various other areas. That said, I should be able to pass through this.
And he presses his hand against the wall with a little bit of force before you see that he is pushed back with a spark. And you hear an alarm go off.
Can I
Firewall breach detected.
Oh,
At which point, Leomon is going to kind of rub at his hand a little bit, looking around the area.
I did no such thing. I merely wondered why I cannot pass through. I have access.
At which point the alarming will continue until eventually the area around you begins to dim and darken.
Oh, that's not ideal. Okay.
Until eventually you see that you are locked around on all sides.
Ah!
Firewall breach detected. Prepare to be purged.
That's not good. Purged is bad, right?
At which point you'll see that the firewall that is surrounding you all begins to start to glow in various points. And you are pulled out of the way by Leomon as a beam of light impacts right where you were standing, singeing the ground.
Oh, definitely bad. Okay. Can I, like, try to sort of, like, touch any of the walls, or is it gonna, like, incinerate my hand?
You can touch the walls and it feels solid, as if touching a wall of concrete. As far as you can tell looking around, there doesn't seem to be any openings in the area. At which point, Leomon will draw his blade.
The firewall deems us a threat.
Is there
We'll
anything
need
you
to-
can do?
We'll need to defend ourselves. We may have to break the wall.
Okay. I'm gonna look to Salomon and be like, can you do that howling thing that you did before?
I can certainly try. We're in this together.
And I'd like you to go ahead and roll me a flight check with
Flight?
you and Salomon adding that together, because you're both working together at this point. I'll roll for Leomon.
Ooh. That was supposed to be Salomon, but it's Salomon rolled a 1. Not
Well, you're both
ideal.
adding it together, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's a 5 altogether.
And we'll go ahead and roll for the firewall to see where they're at. Very well. So, top of the order is Leomon, who's going to go ahead and, using his blade, strike at the firewall. That is a 13, so that is enough strength that he slashes with his blade, and you hear a cracking. As he pulls back, you can see that there's a tear in the firewall from where his slash is. And while the firewall tries to repair itself, it seems that the hole, while it's no longer that slash, it seems to be dispersed throughout the firewall.
It can be broken down, little by little. We'll get out of this yet, little miss.
Yeah, we could do it.
Which point it is now the firewall's turn, and it's going to attempt to shoot a beam at Leomon. I'm going to go ahead and burn, I'm just going to say 3 tokens at this point. We'll see how it goes.
I have so much worry in my heart.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So it exploded,
Oh no.
and that is a 24 to hit on Leomon.
Oh my
I'm
god.
I gotta roll his I gotta roll his brawn to tank this because he does not have flight.
Oh no.
Oh no is right, as he rolled a 2.
Oh no.
So that is a differential of 20.
Oh my god.
As he turns to you with a smile as he's holding his blade, one of the beams pierces right through the left side of his chest, poking a hole through it. As he drops down to a knee, he's still up, but he is definitely hurting as he takes 2 points of damage.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Oh shit. We can't keep doing this.
It is now your and Salomon's turn.
Can I use my heal chip on him, or can I only use it on...
You can use your heal chip on him. That's still
gonna-
your action on your turn.
Yeah, I want to use my heal chip on Leomon.
Very well. You go ahead and you will heal Leomon by 1. He's up to 3 HP at this point. What is Salomon doing?
I think probably still doing the puppy howling.
All right, go ahead and roll me a fight check then.
Okay. That's a 13 fight.
That is enough as you go ahead and Salomon will let out a puppy howling that will echo across the walls, and there will be more cracks that begin to appear as you do another point of damage to the firewall.
Oh, man.
It's now Leomon's turn. Is going to stand up at this point, and you see the hole beginning to kind of restitch itself from the heal chip.
Thank you, little miss. I was not paying attention, and I paid for it. Let's see how you like this!
Well, damn.
Oh.
Well, he exploded, so that's a 32.
Holy shit! Yo!
Which beats the DC of the firewall by 20, as he goes ahead and he reels his fist back.
Fist of the Beast King!
And it impacts into the wall. There is a shattering as more of the wall breaks apart as he deals 2 points of damage to it. The wall is floundering, but the beams are still aiming themselves at this point. As the firewall is now going to go ahead and make 2 attacks, one at Leomon and one at Salamon.
Okay.
So for against Leomon, we'll see what the roll is. All right, that is a 7. And against Salamon, it's a 1.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead and roll the flight check for Salamon. I will roll the brawn check for Leomon.
Salamon got a 2.
That is
he made
enough.
it. Yeah.
So Salamon will just barely stumble out of the way as the beam impacts where he was. Leomon tries to get out of the way, but his arm locks up from the point of the impact of the first blast as another one comes down and impacts in his back as he takes a point of damage.
Oh my god.
It is now your go with Salamon.
Okay. Yeah, Salamon, can I have Salamon do a brains check to see what the weakest point looks like?
Sure.
Or is it just kind of all over?
I mean, the wall is kind of surrounding all over the place, but it's trying to restructure itself to cover for the areas that are open gaps. So there are some areas that feel weaker than others. So I'd say if you want to go ahead and give me a brains check for Salamon, the DC will be 12.
Okay. Let's see. Come on, Salamon. That's a 16.
Fair enough. You can see that Salamon is able to kind of pinpoint an area that looks to be not as sturdy as the others to attack. So it will reduce the DC of a successful attack.
Hell yeah.
So go ahead and roll me a fight check for Salamon at this point. Actually, no, that'll be next turn because that was his action to look for the weakness. Anything Sammy's doing?
I think at this point, I mean, there's nothing I can really do except for try to help. Can I try to hit the wall, I guess?
I mean, yeah, you can try and slam your fist against the wall. Go ahead and roll me a fight check.
Didn't Reiner do this too? Oh man, that's a 4.
You swing and impact into the wall, and it is like punching concrete. Your hand hurts.
I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I thought that would work.
Let us handle this, little miss. Stay back.
Okay.
At which point, Leomon is going to go ahead and try and make an attack on his own. Which is not enough, as he tries to bring his blade down, and the firewall actually thickens at the point of impact, bouncing his blade off.
Oh no.
At which point, Leomon needs to go ahead and roll me a brawn check to tank the attack coming his way. He exploded, so we'll see how that does.
Ooh.
Not enough, though.
Oh no.
As he takes another point of damage, kind of being brought down to his knees. Holding himself up just by his blade.
Oh my god. Stressful.
At which point, Leomon will kind of look over towards you and Salamon.
You have to survive, little miss. It is my charge to make sure of that.
And Leo... Go ahead.
We're both gonna survive this. We're all 3 of us are gonna survive this. Don't talk like that. Yeah.
It is now your and Salamon's turn.
I think Sammy is gonna run over and try to help Leomon up while Salamon does his attack on the weak point that he found.
All right, go ahead and have Salamon roll me a fight check. You have to beat a 10 from the previous successful brains check.
Okay. That is a 3.
Do you have enough tokens to add to that, or no? You have to
6, 7.
beat a 10.
I have to meet or beat?
You have to beat, because you're an attacker.
I don't have enough to beat it.
So go ahead and take your token as Salamon attempts to break through and is rejected by the barrier. Leomon is going to try to stand at this point, but feels too heavy to even move. As the beams come down, we'll see how Leomon does for dodging. I will also need Salamon to roll me a flight check. The DC is 12 for this.
Oh, man. Salamon rolls a 12.
All right, Salamon will just barely dodge out of the way as Leomon holds up his blade, which deflects the beam coming at him. He's still holding on just barely by a thread.
Oh my god.
And he turns towards you.
I believe Mr. Meteormon should be returning soon. We only need hold out for...
And there is a silence that comes across as from his chest he looks down and there is another gaping hole from the firewall.
Oh.
And he leans forward and collapses onto the ground, not moving.
Mr. Leomon? No, not... Salamon, is there something you can do? What do we do?
The beams are going to surround you at this point, all aiming directly at you. It's at this point that Salamon turns its body to kind of block you from most of the attacks.
I'm not scared. My partner's here. And with it, we're going to live. I know we will.
And you feel a warmth coming from your Digivice.
I pull it out.
And you see Salamon beginning to glow. Until their body is completely enveloped in white.
Salamon, what's happening?
I'm going to protect you, Sammy. We're gonna make it through this.
And you see Salamon begin to stand on its hind legs and begin to grow as the light envelops them. Until, as they are standing at full height, you see the ring, the collar that's been around their neck. Hands begin to form where the paws were that reach up, grab the holy ring, and shatter it apart in half. The halves of the collar then begin to reform as they spin on the fingers, forming into what appear to be cross-shaped pistols, until standing before you is a completely different being.
Salamon?
No longer Salamon. Someone stronger. And someone who's going to protect you, Sammy. I am Sistermon Noir.
Is this Digivolution that you told me about?
It's thanks to you that I'm stronger now.
Let's get through this together then, Sistermon.
With pleasure.
Go ahead and roll me a fight check for Sistermon Noir.
Oh, God, she's so cool! 13 fight.
And with that, Sistermon Noir takes the dual Anthony's and begins firing across the entirety of the firewall surrounding you. Bullets that are ricocheting off the wall and re-impacting into each other. Until eventually, she crosses the guns across their chests and gives a wink, and the firewall shatters around you.
Oh my god, this is so dope.
And you are left standing back on that plane once more. with nothing but the wind echoing around you.
Wow, what do we do about Leomon, Sistermon? He's not waking up.
I'm not too sure. I don't know if there's any way we can help him right now.
There's gotta be something. We can't let
At
someone
which
else
point,
die.
you hear a rumbling coming from the top of the mountain. And there is a boulder coming directly at you that slowly is breaking apart until it's about the size of a soccer ball. A large white stone that lands at your feet and unfurls.
Oh, sorry for taking so long, everybody. It was a bit of a journey and then some. I didn't realize how backed up it would be. Oh, no.
Meteormon, you're back!
I am, but it looks like things have been getting worse now.
Yeah, is there anything you can do about this? I don't want to watch another Digimon disappear like before.
At which point, Meteormon is going to go ahead and pull out a rucksack and begin to pull out various bits and bobs. And they look like nothing to you. It looks like just a bunch of gems or stones or rocks before he pushes them all together in his hands, and there's a crunching sound. And when his hands reform, you can see what appears to be almost like a USB chip that he places at the center of his chest where the hole is. There is a soft glowing light as the USB disappears. And while Leomon is still laying there, you see that he is beginning to breathe again.
Oh, thank God.
He's gonna have one wicked headache in the morning, but he's stable for now. I should probably leave him a note.
Well, leave him a note. Aren't we gonna stay until he wakes up? That's what friends would do, right?
That would be the case, but unfortunately on your end of things, they're a little bit more complicated than we initially thought.
Complicated how? How much more complicated can it get? We just got attacked by a wall!
Well, let's start with the simple things for the first point. The fact that the firewall's even up right now and causing this kind of devastation is not a good thing. They should be off. They should not be doing this. Clearly someone's messing with the admin controls. And that's no good for anybody.
Well, how are we supposed to fix it? You said the terminals were off too.
Well, that's the thing, is that they are able to be turned back on if we had Digivices here, and, well, lucky for us. Well, maybe lucky for us. We still need to go and meet them. Looks like you're not the only one that got lost out here.
What? There are more?
Yeah, looks like some other individuals like yourself ended up getting thrown into the digital world.
Oh, I hope they're having an easier time than I am. This is scary
Possibly.
stuff.
Hopefully they actually know anybody. But as far as Jordy was telling me, he definitely sent out a message. And he's making sure that your brother's at least aware that you might be here and whatnot. Or at least safe, for the most part.
That's good at least. Well, as for Digivice, here, look! I have one now! And I'm gonna show it to him, and be like, and Sistermon Digivolved!
Oh, that is certainly something for the most part. Congratulations on having a partner, and how's it feel?
She's like, I mean, great, but like, why did the Digivolution have to happen after Leomon got shot in the chest a whole bunch? Feels like this could have been avoided.
Unfortunately, that's kind of the problem when it comes to having partners in Digivolution. It's not really a matter of something that can be forced. It usually comes about as a result of some form of emotional development. Whether it be lots of stress or, coming to terms with something. At least that's how it worked for me and Jordy.
Yeah, stress is right. Oh, man.
So, where do we go now? Do we have to walk back to the top of the mountain?
Oh, goodness, no. Believe you me. If things are about as dangerous as I'm thinking they are, then this place is definitely going to be worse for the wear. Luckily, Phoenixmon is aware of the situation and is going to be keeping things handled. As far as I'm aware, no one's messed with their terminal, so it's in safekeeping until we've got everybody else around.
Yeah. Do we know who the other humans are? Maybe we can meet up with them.
But I do know where they should be. According to the data that Jordy was able to pull up, they ended up over in the Digital Forest, which is a little bit further south from here, but with a bit of a couple of treks and whatnot, we can make it over there.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
But first and foremost, we need to make our way over to the Static Desert, specifically to one of my little hideaways.
Okay. Leomon said it was really dangerous out there in the desert.
Normally that'd be the case, but luckily you've got me out here.
Okay, yeah. And Sistermon. I just watched her kick butt. I mean, it was wall butt, but it was still butt.
You're darn right we kicked some butt.
Right, well, I love the confidence. It's beautiful. It's great to see. But yeah, the reason we need to go there, simply put, we do not have enough supplies to get through the entire desert in a day. I only have so much energy, and let's face it, it's gonna take a little while to get myself back up to full function again once when I made my way from the top of the mountain. Goodness, it was like a sprint getting down here. I am quite winded.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired too. That fight really took it out of me. Think we
Well,
can...
it makes sense. Digivolution's kind of a hard thing to deal with. Which reminds me, how are you still like you are right now? Usually after the emotional turmoil, you kind of drop back and whatnot. At which point, Sistermon Noir is gonna shrug.
I don't know. I like being this way. But, if you'd prefer I go back, I can. Up to you, Sammy.
I think I feel better about you staying the way you are right now. I mean, at least until we're somewhere new and we're not going to get attacked by another wall.
Works fine for me. I guess we'll wait until we're at the hideaway for Mr. Meteormon here.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll wait till we're out of Dodge.
Sounds like a lovely plan indeed. Now, I wonder if... And at this point, Leomon begins to stir.
I'm gonna run over to him and be like, "Oh my gosh, you're awake! Oh, thank God! Ah, I thought you were dead! I thought you were dead for sure!"
It is good to see that you all are safe.
You'll see that looking into Leomon's eyes, there's a bit of, like, confusion, for the most part.
I'm glad I was able to uphold my charge. I suppose my duty is complete at this point. Is that not right, Mr. Meteormon?
I suppose so, but if you'd like to join us for...
As much as I would appreciate the offer, I believe I have other matters to attend to. Thank you very much for your kindness and generosity, young human. I shall hope to see you again, possibly.
I hold my hand out to shake his hand, and I say, yeah, we'll see you on the flip side. And, don't get shot again.
I should certainly like to not be shot again.
And he'll give your hand a shake. As he pulls himself up, kind of grunting and groaning.
Now, I suppose I'll be heading northwest to a place where I can become stronger. And to not let this happen again.
And he'll look down towards you and Sistermon, give a solid nod, look over to Meteormon, and give a thumbs up.
Safe travels to you all.
And he'll... You notice he starts walking away, but after maybe about a good 10 feet, it picks up into a speed walk.
I like wave by at him. Goodbye! Don't get tackled off the mountain again!
Well, it'd be hard for him to be tackled off the mountain now that we're at the base, but, you know, always good to be aware of that.
Yeah, being tackled off a mountain, not good. Doesn't matter where on the mountain you are.
Definitely not. Definitely not good in any way, shape, or form. Right then, I suppose we'd best be on our way.
And you begin to make your trek using Meteormon's patented fast travel via control of the dirt and rocks to swiftly make your way through the static desert. The trek is boring. There is nothing out here for miles. It is dull. Seeing a tumbleweed is the most entertaining thing you see over the course of 2 days.
Oh
of
my
travel.
god.
Until eventually, on day 8, you arrive in what appear to be a set of ruins that are broken down with really nothing else around the area. But it's the first landmark you've seen since coming out here.
Is that it? Is that your hideaway?
Oh, if only this was my hideaway. Goodness, the architecture here is fantastic and beautiful, but it's not any of my work. No, where we're going is somewhere that's a little bit more secure. And he's going to go ahead over to what appears to be a relatively simple, unmarked boulder. As he waves his hand over to the side, the boulder slides out of the way, and you can see a staircase that descends further down.
Oh, it's underground. Okay.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's my hideaway, but it's also a hideaway for other Digimon. You know, a little place away from things. A little oasis in the desert, as it were. Little Miss and Miss Systemon, I'd like to introduce you to the underground and my little abode.
And as you begin to make your way down the steps into Meteormon's hideaway to await your next steps and prepare for potentially your next leg of the journey into the desert, that is where we are going to end things. As you will have 2 days here in the underground before Reiner and crew arrive. And that's where Sammy was.
Wow! Wow! Oh my god.
We solved the mystery.
And now I have a bunch of context. Which is great.
Now I know things. Woohoo!
And now you have newfound Leomon-shaped trauma.
Wait, you mean she doesn't take on High Andromon herself just once before we get there?
Well, if you want to do that roll, we can do that.
Alright, roll some fight checks. Let's go.
Nah, she already blew her like 58 or whatever it was.
Yeah, 58. Double explosion on my D20 flight.
Way to go, by the way, with that.
Holy
Christ.
I
fucking
love
shit.
so much that a basic fucking like I'm stealthing thing got that, but then it's like, I'm gonna throw a rock. 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Ink.
The dice really said, you are not your brother.
You are not right. Stop this.
Stop it.
If you had just chosen to stay stealthed in that spot, no one would have ever found you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just would have been stuck there for 10 days.
Yep. Just take a nap in the crag. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fine. How did Sammy actually get there? She napped in the crag for don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
And nothing happened, and nothing went wrong, and everyone is
Everything's great.
fine. Unimon and Luxmon are in the Digimon hospital, and they're gonna be just okay.
They're gonna recover. It's gonna be great.
What parts of Luxmon are there to even put in a hospital gurney?
You know, a bit over here, a bit over there, there.
I can't believe you made me watch an evisceration.
Trauma, am I right?
With my child eyes.
What a shame, right?
You know.
And
yeah.
y'all worry about Riot putting her through.
I don't think that justifies anything, but go on.
Sammy has been hardened by the world, and therefore no one can accost her.
And this is why she hasn't shared any of her experiences yet.
Because Reiner would go fucking insane.
He would go absolutely apeshit.
He would throttle Meteor on and be like, "You let her alone for what?"
Yeah.
I didn't know her yet.
I didn't know. I was going for answers, unfortunately, and then I learned everything was awful, and then you got your message with very cryptic information, because I also didn't know things. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Look, sometimes people just die. I can't control that.
Not my fault. I'm sorry. You know, things happen. The cycle. Except, you know, this time it got broken, which is not okay.
Yeah. This is how she unlocks her Mangekyo. Yeah.
Luxmon was the key.
Luxmon was the key. Damn.
Yeah. I just tried. Fierce deity wank, where's Luxmon? Honestly, that's the one shot that can't be solved.
Yeah, he's over there and there.
I don't know. I think Luxmon was one shot.
Oh my god. Technically two.
Yeah, double tap.
Yeah. Oh man.
I told chat
man.
before. Fucking Luxmon died for your sins so that Salamon could rise 3 days later.
Yeah, also you guys need to start being nicer to Salamon. He's been fucking through the ringer.
The confidence is only because Sammy's there. If Sammy was gone, it fucking falters.
Literally watched all of their friends get obliterated by someone they thought was nice.
My child is completely fine.
Also, yeah, does Leomon need to come back? I think Leomon will eventually come back. I still have plans for him.
Vague and threatening, but okay.
Good, as it should be.
I'm just gonna tell you up front, if the intention is for us to feel bad when Leomon dies, why am I going to feel bad for a pre-rug?
What?
Why am I gonna feel bad for a pre-rug?
Free rug.
Pre.
Is not yet a
to
rug,
become
but will
a
soon
lion
become
rug.
one.
Yep. Fair enough.
My god.
That sounds ominous.
Dark.
It's only a matter of time before my boy gets rugged.
One of these days. But that said, for everybody who showed up for the Sammy one-shot, thank you so much for showing up for this and for learning the context of where Sammy's been for 10 days.
Yeah, thank you for coming and listening to all of that. Wow. I think that's the most I've ever talked in like one sitting.
Oh, again, it was
I feel
a
like-
you and you show, friend.
Yeah. I feel like if this were to be for lack of a better word, a trial run of one-shots, I feel like it worked out pretty successfully.
I think so.
I would definitely say so.
Also,
I thought it
somebody
was a
said
good
that
time.
High Commandramon didn't make the cut. I was told that High Commandramon was switched out for Leomon, so...
Well.
If that's not the case, then oops.
Rip.
Oh, we did have one last donation.
Oh, did we?
Oh.
Yeah, it was Topher Bell.
Oh.
Topher showed up?
Yeah,
I've
and
seen
they
that.
put in $20 to take us over the top onto tier 2. And they said Blue asked for $20 to donate. Question: are you guys going to do like special holiday streams like Halloween and Christmas?
Thought I could make it happen. I would just, we'd need to make sure everyone's actually available. for
Yeah, that's the
holiday.
main thing.
Yeah.
Not objectively opposed. It's just our schedules are already somewhat tricky to organize. And if we're doing them on Saturdays, then there's a chance, no guarantee, but there's a chance they might cut into normal games.
Here's
So don't want that to happen.
Here's the thing as I see it. Like, I don't, like, just as my personal thought, but, like, I don't think the idea of
holiday streams as if they were to tie into main story is a good idea, because they're running on a different time cycle and whatnot, so to try and Christmas up something that ain't Christmas or something like that seems weird.
It would definitely be a beach episode kind of thing.
It would have to be essentially a one-shot episode where it's like, we
Non-canon.
turn to a timeline where this is happening.
I feel like what I feel like is more likely, because it's, you gotta understand the people on this team, a lot of them do celebrate the holidays and go out with their families and so on like that. But like, for the people who have nothing going on, maybe could do some kind of like community event stream on those days or something. But like,
we could do a Digi-Destiny plays on those and appreciate the holiday with holiday-based games.
Yeah, something like that. But I don't think we'd be able to like directly do like a story related thing. That's a little bit of extra.
I'll tell you this. If we were going to do something holiday related, it would be its own separate side story. It would most likely not include the current players and like their, or at least not the current like characters. It might be like its own pocket story that's just set in the world of Digi-Destiny. So that might happen.
That could be fun.
How
That way it's
Terriermon stole
non-canon.
Christmas.
Oh my god. Also, Halloween is 4 days before Yom.
Oh yeah. it
Yeah.
is. Christ.
So,
Yeah, it's gonna be a little tricky to schedule that.
you know,
Like, I mean,
I'm traveling
I might not be able
on the
to,
31st.
I might not be able to make a Halloween special for that episode, but I might be able to make it spooky for that episode, depending on where you guys are at.
Spooky, spooky.
Spooky indeed. But yes, that said, again, thank you everybody for showing up today. I appreciate it very much. All of the support that we get here, it continues to drive us to do more and to provide much more content for you guys, like of this type of stuff, because it's fun to do. But yeah, I care y'all. Y'all are great.
And this was super fun. Thank you.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, it was a great time.
The next logical question. What's next week? Is there something next week?
Standard game? Question mark?
As far as I am aware, looking at the schedule on things, yeah, next week on the 9th is gonna be another session. So that's right, guys. You got 4 weeks in a row of content.
Good lord.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Spike.
And as far as I know, I won't be opening the next day on that one.
Nice.
Wahoo!
Yeah. So I think at this point, I think we're set.
I believe that covers everything.
Yeah.
Next
I think so.
Saturday will be another game. We'll see what the main crew is actually up to now that we're caught up in the timeline.
Yeah.
And when that happens, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But for now, again, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time, members of the Vandom and the Vanguard.
Au revoir. Bonne soirée.
Au revoir.